What's up, party people? Today I want to talk about slow sim. Yes, for the slow simmers, I'm focusing on this and you. I want to get this out to you as soon as possible. Coming up with a top five, a top three of the best offenses and defenses, pretty hard. It takes a while, but for me, I think what we can do is look at the first 4 weeks of slow simming the entire season and see what we can learn and see if we get a jump start on what works as far as playbooks and players' traits, abilities, and go from there. So this is gonna be a lengthy video, so please bear with me. But if you're a hardcore slow simmer, I think there's some things we can learn from here. If you're in a slow sim league of your own or with other people, this will probably help you. It's just we got to go through some digging here a little bit. We're going to analyze all the teams and the players and see what we can come up with. So I apologize if it's a little all over the place, if it's a little boring, but I think this is the best way to get this information out to you the quickest. So I appreciate you if you do stick it out, watching, like, subscribing. Also, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a new thing where you can in the bottom near the comments you can boost videos. It's a new thing. If you can give me one of those, that'd be great. It helps your video trend, or you as a creator in your YouTube channel trend more. I don't know too much about it. I haven't dug too much in it, but a like and a comment. I'm sure we'll have lots of questions and comments. I'll do my best to answer them in the video below, the comments below. But what I want to see is, why are these the best teams through 4 games, and why are these the worst teams through 4 games, and see what we can learn. I will say, from doing 2 years of slow simming an entire league, that a lot of times there's teams that start off 4-0 and just absolutely fade, and there's teams that start off 1-3 and make the playoffs, like we just saw in this Madden 2025 season, where almost every team that was in the bottom of the basement in through 4 games came up and won their division. But that could be a Madden thing from Madden 25. I don't know. Let's get into it. It's gonna be lengthy, like I said. It's gonna be detailed. We're gonna have to dig through the weeds to find the facts of why teams and players are doing as well as they are through 4 games of an entire slow sim Madden 26 season. So let's jump into it. Let's start with the settings for this league. I didn't mess with any sliders. Nobody really had sliders out yet. Um, I really like the gameplay for the most part. So much better stuff that I'll get into compared to Madden 25 and the sliders we're using. But I have it on all Madden, 12-minute quarters and 13-second minimum play clock. I think it made the game move really fast. If anything, I might add it to 13 minutes. But I think the 13-second minimum play clock kept the action moving. It was, I think, more aesthetic watching it. Did that limit things? Possibly. We're going to go over people's sliders and find the best sliders later. I had home field advantage on. I know some people turn that off. And, of course, tutorial pop-ups are off. Let's see what else we got here. Let me turn this volume down on this TV. When I progress players, I just hit, upgrade all. I didn't really manage teams or any of that stuff. I have wear and tear on, practice injury on, progressive fatigue is off, but that's because wear and tear is on. Really didn't really touch anything else except for the game clock stuff, and everything else is normal. And I thought for the most part it played very well. There's some concerning things. What's great to see is interceptions are really down. There's some big run plays, although as the 4 games went on, I would like to see more running. It started off great. The first game, Saquon Barkley just ran all over the Dallas Cowboys. But no one's rushing over 100 yards a game. Obviously, can be a time of game situation type of thing. Running backs are running more, but we still got a lot of tackle for losses and sacks. So that's the one thing that needs to be cleaned up, if anything. But quarterbacks aren't turning the ball over a ridiculous amount unless they're named Spencer Rattler or Patrick Mahomes. We'll get into that more. It's great stuff. So let's go into the records first and kind of break it down from there. And I'm looking at schedule. Set up on standings. It'd be nice if I knew what was going on here. All right, so the top 4 teams, record-wise, undefeated. We have the Cardinals. That's a surprise. The Ravens, not a surprise. Eagles, Packers, Bengals. Those are the 5 undefeated teams, and then you got the Chargers, Rams, Colts, and Commanders. So I think the most surprising 2 teams here would be the Colts and the Cardinals. The Cardinals have the best defense. They're the least amount of points allowed. They also are tied for the lead in sacks and the number 1 team in interceptions. I think the Cardinals, as most of this is done because of their defense. I think their defense is really good. That's what I'm taking from that right off the rip here. I think that Cardinals defense is really good, and I actually think I want to go look back and look at them in Quick Sim because they're listed as a 4-3, but I think they have more 3-4 formation. So I'm going to go back in there when this video is done and take a look at the Cardinals defense, because I see the Cardinals every once in a while pop up in sack numbers in Quick Sim. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now the Ravens, great team. Obviously, they score a lot of points. They got Lamar rushing and all that stuff. They gave up a lot of pass yards, but they're leading a lot. Same thing with the Eagles. They're the highest scoring team. They've given up 70 points, but they've come back in some games. They're playing a really good schedule. And then the Packers, one of our top offenses and defenses that we've noticed, we picked out in Quick Sim, and it seems to be translating very well. The Bengals, their offense is scoring points, not the way you would think, but their defense is really good. And as far as defense in Quick Sim, their defense in Quick Sim, not so great, but Slow Sim looking good. Chargers, they could be better if their defense is better, for sure. Rams, the same thing. They're giving up too much points. You would think that the Chargers and the Rams would have better defenses, points-wise. That could be a who you played. It's only 4-game sample, but that's something to notice here. Colts being one of the better teams. What we got here for the Colts? They are 3rd in rushing and 3rd in total yards allowed. So their defense was pretty good last year in Madden 25. Seems pretty good this year. And of course, when you run the ball, you don't turn the ball over that much. And having a mobile running quarterback like the Cardinals, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Colts, and the Commanders have, when you have that cheat code of a rushing quarterback that can take off at any moment, they're going to be good. Oh, and of course you have the Bills here. How can I forget the Bills? One of the best defenses. They're top 5. I mean, I think their only loss is because they lost to the Ravens. So there you go. About who you played. The Bills, top 10 offense, number 2 defense, 3rd in passing, 2nd in points, and they are 5th in pass yards allowed. That's where they kind of stood out there. Great team, for sure. And then when you look at the bottom teams, the Bears can't score, giving up too many points. That's because their offense sucks. Titans, rookie quarterback, can't score. Saints are terrible. Spencer Rattler, he is tied with Mahomes for the most interceptions at 8. You have the Browns, they can't score. Now, I didn't mess with them, but they had Deshaun Watson starting for 4 games. He just holds on the ball way too much. Chiefs are 1-3. That's a surprise, but giving up too many points, losing to good teams. Broncos, offense is pretty good, but defense is not as good as you would think. The Broncos are really bad in the red zone defensively. Falcons, we really like their offense, but they're giving up too many points defensively, and they're not scoring enough. Even though Michael Penix has a really nice QB rating, he's getting sacked way too much. So I don't know if that's a playbook or a player thing. And if, tuning sliders would help him with that. Panthers, of course. Bryce Young is Bryce Young. Patriots, look at this. Great defense, terrible offense. Is that the offensive playbook? Is that Drake May? And the Giants surprisingly have a really bad defense. And of course, they have a bad offense. Steelers, same thing. A lot of these teams, well, Dolphins, both their playbooks suck, and they suck in quick sim as well. So there you go. That's kind of a look at the teams from a macro perspective. We start getting into the team stats. What do we have here? I got this all written down. The most points: Eagles, Bills, Packers, Texans, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens, Rams. Now, the Chargers and Texans, I highlighted these fine playbooks here. The Texans and Chargers have top 5 offenses, and they don't have good defenses, especially the Chargers. So maybe we consider these playbooks offensively and not their playbooks defensively. Maybe they need a scheme change. Maybe, whatever. The Chargers, Texans just don't have good enough overalls. Who knows? Texans only have 57 first downs. Chargers have 80. I mean, who knows? You can also have defensive interceptions. Hard to tell, but Texans and Chargers are teams I would highlight as far as offense. And then I'm going to bring this up in a second when we get to defense, but the Lions and 49ers have really good defenses, especially from a total yards allowed. So maybe you combine the Texans and or Chargers offenses with the Lions and 49ers defenses. Could it be playbook? Could it be player? That's a question there that needs to be answered. Where else are we going to go here with these? The bottom teams. Of course, 0-4 for the Saints, 5.8 yards scored, 5.8 points scored, I should say. Patriots, another team, great defense, can't score for shit. Bears, we can't keep Caleb Williams from getting sacked, but that also could be his fault. We have to look, probably should look at him. And if I can't get to looking at him because I forget, look at him yourself. Another quarterback who keeps getting sacked. There's Michael Penix Jr., Giants, Dolphins, Browns. I mean, you kind of expect these teams to be here. Steelers, Panthers, Vikings, not so much, but kind of. McCarthy struggles a little bit. Titans, rookie QB. 49ers, they're probably here offensively because they run the ball the most. We'll get into that. Seahawks, another heavy run team probably, but good defensively. Lions, Jets probably playing above their heads a little bit, but they run the ball a lot. And the Cardinals, they struggle to score, but they have a great defense. Speaking of defense, let's look at the defenses. Now, looking at things defensively, as I mentioned before, the Lions and the 49ers, tops in total yards allowed. Is that a result of playbooks? Is that a result of the offense just controlling the ball? Like, what? It's only 4 games. I keep saying that. Something to look into. The Colts, Bengals, Packers, Packers at both sides of the ball, quick sim, like the team, like the playbooks. Bengals not winning how you'd think they would in quick sim. They're throwing the ball for the most yards, and they're not really doing that. They're playing better defensively, in my opinion. Colts have always been a great team going back towards last year and the year before as far as defensively and offensively. Anthony Richardson running the ball is a cheat code, and that really helps your defense as well. Bills, of course, they're up on teams, and this probably could be even lower if they didn't play the Ravens. Patriots, they just need an offense, man. This could probably be better. if they could control the ball. So pay attention to the Patriots. They're really good in quick sim as well, and that seems to translate here. Bills defense has always been good. In quick sim, Bills defense is inconsistent, and most 4-3 playbooks are. Do like the Jags a lot. Packers, it's one of those things where they're listed as 4-3, but they have 3-4 formation, or the other way around. But now they're going to get even better because I just put Micah Parsons on them for the week 4. Pass yards allowed. Lions not giving up that much. 49ers, Bengals, Packers, Bills. Now some of these, the Raiders, who somehow are 2-2, they're like a pass funnel, giving up the most, but I think they're also giving up the least amount of rush yards. Ravens giving up a lot of pass yards, but they play the Bills. They're playing some good teams. Dolphins are just awful. I mean, look how many rush and pass yards they've given up. Eagles, kind of pass funnel there. Giants, we're not doing too good. Texans, a little bit more of a pass funnel and game flow. Rush yards, the Raiders only giving up 199. The Colts 210. Eagles 221. The Jags, I like the Jags a little bit defensively. Of course, 49ers, Texans, we've kind of talked about. Patriots, another good team. Points wise, go back over this again. Giants giving up the most points. The Dolphins, stay away from all their playbooks, in my opinion. The Browns, I think part of that might be they got really bad QB play. Titans rookie QB, so I think that's kind of affecting their defense as well. So take it with a grain of salt. The Cardinals, not great offensively, the greatest team offensively, but they get timely first downs with the legs of Kyler Murray, Kyler the compiler. Bills only 45 points given up. Seahawks, always a good defensive team. Packers, can't say enough about them. Same with the Patriots. God, the Patriots just need a good offense, and they can turn it around. 49ers, if they get more effective running, they'd probably be really good. Jags, a little bit of a surprise, but I think the Jags might be the best 4-3 question mark quick sim defense, and 2-1-1, 3-1-3-1. They're pretty good, and we'll go over one of their best players. I think a little more of a picture of why they're so good will show up there. As far as sacks are up too high, in my opinion, right now. If anything, it needs to be fixed. I think that would help offense. And tackles for loss, that's the one thing. I think we need a little bit more. I don't know what it is. We need lesser defensive line play or more offensive line play as far as, effectiveness. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. That's the one thing I would iron out. But other than that, I think the game's great. A lot of cool, animations they added in. The guys reaching for first downs and all kinds of stuff. I've gone over this little by little, but I love, after watching the entire season of Madden 25, watching what they added in Madden 26 and better decision making and stuff like that. I just love it. Sacks, Jaguars. Trayvon Walker is a beast. He's leading the league in sacks. Is that Trayvon Walker? I mean, he's only a 79 overall player, or is that playbook? So definitely put the Jags that on your list. The Cards, another playbook, 32 sacks. The Vikings, they're kind of built to be, sack wise. How good could the Vikings be if they had a better playbook and or quarterback? Seahawks, they're kind of in the Vikings department, in my opinion. Patriots need a better offense. Bengals, surprise-ish, but we saw this in Madden 25 where they have really good edges, and Trey Hendrickson and the rookie Shamar Stewart are awesome. Steelers, I mean, their offense is poopy. They got an older quarterback, and they're going to have high sack totals because they have Alex Highsmith, who's playing absolutely phenomenal, and the other guy on the other side, TJ Watt is a sack machine. The sacks are just up overall. but still, we're all playing under the same parameters here, and these teams are excelling. The Raiders, Mad Max is the only guy, and he's not doing great. I would have thought the Giants would be so much better, but it could just be their offense is really terrible. Eagles not doing great, but they are controlling the ball a lot more. Broncos really is a surprise here. Rams, they're one of the better teams in interceptions, but not so much sacks. And Dolphins suck. Interception wise, the Cardinals, as I said, 7 interceptions. So watch out for that Cardinals defense. Slow sim and probably quick sim. Rams, we've discussed. Ravens, great secondary. Just not a lot of love for pass rushers from a player perspective of overall. Broncos, thought the Broncos would do better. Chargers are going to charge. Then a bunch of teams with 4 interceptions. What else we got next? What else? Conversions. Of course, the better teams here on third down. Chargers, Bills, Rams, Buccaneers. Bucks. Which one are the Bucks? The Bucks are the team that I think the Bucks need a better defense. I think that's their problem for sure. Packers, of course, Eagles. So some of this stuff transfers. Let me take a sip of coffee here. I appreciate you listening to this boring stuff if you are. This will help you. Hopefully, this will help you tremendously with gathering information for your slow sims. I need to take a break. All right, there's the coffee, and maybe the coffee's not helping because I'm just starting to sputter. Fourth down conversion, of course, Eagles are 100%. Bengals, Jags. One thing I love about Madden 26, you got the QB dive. That's awesome. And who cares about 2-point conversion rate? Red zone rate, you got the Chiefs at 61, Buccaneers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, if they could ever get there, which they can't. And Chargers. Defensively, who's the worst? That's a surprise. The Broncos, the 49ers, Lions, and Giants, the best. The Cardinals, of course. Titans, Texans, Bears. Maybe not so much of a barometer of how good they are. So those are the teams. Let's look at the players. See what I got here. Just flip through my pages. Is there anything else I want to talk about? No. I think we covered it all. Let's talk about the players. The quarterbacks. That's right here. Yeah, we're doing this live. And there'll be very little editing. You're a true champion if you stuck this out. So Mahomes. He is the leader in yards, but he's tied for the lead in interceptions. Too aggressive. I have some names we'll look at individually later. If I don't get to them, go look at them on yourself. Josh Allen, just a perfect player right now. Second in yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Justin Herbert, third in pass yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jared Goff, just not converting in the red zone for the most part, probably. Geno Smith is pretty good. They're 2-2. Then you got Jordan Love, legit one of the best teams, offensive, defensively. Players showing it in the stats. Baker Mayfield playing well, just not. The team's only 2-2. Stafford, we know what the Rams could do. Puka's one of the best wide receivers. You'll see that soon. Trevor Lawrence. Can we clean up the interceptions? You got Stroud, and we'll go back to it. The Texans' top 5 offense just need a better defense. Brock Purdy, 5 for 1. He always seems to take care of the ball. He did the same thing last year in Madden 25. He's had one of the better touchdown to interception ratios. Leader in touchdowns, Mahomes, Herbert, Hurts. Not a lot of yards compared to other players because he's rushing the ball and they got Barkley, but doing very well in the red zone. I think Goddard and I forget who else. He's just passing the ball over the place. Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, CJ Stroud, Burrow. Burrow only 222 yards passing. Not playing up to scale. Now, could all this change with scheme and player traits? Well, that remains to be seen. Completion percentage. You got Geno, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Yards per game. Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Goff. Kind of already knew it would be that. QB rating. Josh Allen's number 1. Michael Penix Jr. No interceptions. Dude just keeps getting sacked. We gotta fix that a little bit. Penix is someone I want to look at. Jordan Love, Hurts, and Herbert. All right, so I think we do it this way. Interceptions, Rattler and Mahomes. Ward and May. Tua, Richardson. I forgot to look at that. Traits. Hero ball. Conservative. Eyes up. Double back. Snap mischief. Steer clear. Now, hero ball. QBs with this trait will attempt to scramble for yards if they think they can get the first down. I swore hero ball was something else. Conservative with this trait will tend to throw shorter passes, avoid forcing passes in tight windows, but he's throwing the most interceptions. Now let's look at my man Spencer Rattler. See if we can see anything as far as traits. Quick clock. QBs with this trait will tend to escape the pocket after making their first read. I don't know. He's he could just suck. He does suck. Let's go back to Mahomes. See if there's anything in the abilities window here. Bazooka. He's always had dashing, red zone, pass lead elite, no look dead eye, and fearless. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. We'll have to figure that out, but that's on you guys to take a look. I mean, I guess conversely, let's look at one Josh Allen, since he seems to be just phenomenal. He's got quick clock, hero ball. Now you would think risk taker would be bad, but no. Cannon, but he's also high overall. Eyes up, showboat, run over, strong arm. Abilities, he's got bazooka, quick draw, not something that's killing players like it was last year. Dashing dead eye, fast break, fearless, and gunslinger. I'm probably gonna take a look at adding these abilities to my players if I can, since he's doing so well. Who else is playing phenomenally? Should we do it by QB rating? Jordan Love. Traits, throwaway, risk taker, eyes up. So maybe risk taker is a pretty good thing to have. He doesn't have any abilities whatsoever. Herbert. Quick clock, risk taker, cannon, seeing ghosts. After a sack, QBs with this trait will tend to force a pass to their first read for the next 3 drives, resetting at the end of the drive. That's crazy. Oblivious. Steer clear. Abilities. He's got pass lead elite, sideline dead eye, and high point dead eye. I mean, just overall, QBs are playing better. Who else would we look at? I mean, I'll take a look at Penix. Maybe we can figure out why he's got nothing. Say maybe we can see why he has so many sacks. Can't all be on his offensive line. How about Hurts? What does Hurts have? Hero ball, throwaway, Look for stars. Yeah, it's definitely him. Players with this trait will have higher tendency to attempt jukes, steer clear, cover ball, run and gun, fast break, jukebox, agile, center, dashing, deadeye. There you go. What do we learn? I don't know too much, but I'm definitely looking to be more of a Josh Allen than I am a Patrick Mahomes right now. I'll tell you that for sure. All right, let's look at rushing. So when we look at attempts, Christian McCaffrey, 77 attempts. Jonathan Taylor, 72. Kyron Williams, 71. Josh Jacobs, 69. There's the Packers again. Travis Etienne, 65. Hubbard, 63. This is a good thing to see. Who knows what if you put some of the better running backs. I mean, what's McCaffrey now? He's a 93 overall. Rack receiver, elusive instinct, ankle breaker, backfield mismatch, evasive, leapfrog. It'd be interesting to see if you put a Saquon in this offense, but the attempts to me is a playbook thing for sure. Of course, you got the Colts. You would like to see Johnny Taylor with better. Kyron Williams, not doing so well. Doesn't have any traits. Does have abilities. Armbar, reach for it, and second win. What is that? Josh Jacobs. You would think it'd be higher. Etienne, a lot of attempts, not great. No traits. I'm starting to think you need to have traits, man. It might be better than abilities. How about Hubbard? I've always liked Hubbard. 4.9 yards a carry. No traits, though. He's always just, for whatever reason, had some nice moves to him. Now, yardage-wise, you got Saquon. He did a lot of that in the first game. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. Hubbard, Taylor, Breece Hall, very, very nice yards per carry. Aaron Jones, Pacheco, 4.9. You know, what are some of these guys with high average doing in a San Francisco 49ers? That's kind of up to us to look into. Touchdown wise, I mean, yeah, this is kind of a Madden thing. It's a QB thing. Barkley's got 5. Bucky Irving, a little bit of a surprise there. Name Najee Harris. He doesn't get many carries, but he is the power back. So you know your power backs are finishing it in the red zone. As I said, no guy over 80. That could be a time of play thing. Maybe if I add a minute or a second to the play clock, could that change? Broken tackles, of course, Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry. What else I want to look at here? Oh, yards for QBs. Justin Fields, 322. Let's look at his traits. Quick clock, hero ball, risk taker, cannon, and seeing ghosts. Let's look at the other QBs. What's Lamar got? Hero ball, cannon, double back, panic button. QBs with this trait will have a higher tendency to force passes when facing pressure. Yee. Elusive instinct, cover ball, twister. Players with this trait will have a higher tendency to attempt to spin. He's also got abilities. He's got Truz as always. Fast break, of course. Quick draw, jukebox, tight out, and agile extender. I believe you'll see some of that with Mr. Hurts, who we just looked at from a passing perspective. But he's got hero ball, throwaway, look for stars, elusive instinct, steering clear, cover ball. He's running gun, fast break, jukebox, agile extender, dashing deadeye. For sure. Who else we got? Come on, this is going quicker than it was. Another guy, Anthony Richardson, Jaden Daniels. Quick clock, hero ball, risk taker, cannon, seeing ghost, run over. And then one more, we'll do, we just did Anthony Richardson, our friend on the Commanders. Jaden Daniels. Quick clock, hero ball, cannon, elusive instinct, steering clear, escape artist, gutsy scrambler, roaming deadeye, sideline deadeye, and fast break. So all pretty much the same kind of stuff there. You know, adding in traits and abilities definitely can affect a lot of things you would think. What do we learn from this? I don't know. Let's get some of the better running backs like a Saquon in one of these playbooks and see what happens. 49ers, Colts, LA, Green Bay, and the Jaguars. Time for more coffee. It's been a long morning. Look at the wide receivers as I turn my page here. Some interesting things. All right. Reception-wise, still don't like to see it, but it is 4 games. Laporta and Kelsey leading the way. Kelsey, I'm okay with more because that's what the playbook is supposed to do. And you got Brock Bowers down there. Now, I don't think they throw enough to Brock Bowers in Quick Sim, but he's doing all right there. I'm going to allow this right now with Laporta. It's not as egregious as it was last year with the tight ends all being in the top spot. Now, what is crazy here is Travis Etienne, and we'll talk about this, why this is a little bit another thing that's popped up compared to other past Maddens, I think, with reception yards for halfbacks. But looking at wide receivers, of course, Puka, he's one of the best. The playbook's designed to go to him. So quick sim imitating slow sim and vice versa. Rashee Rice also in the slot. And a number 1. Same thing. I'm on Raw in the slot, number 1. Quentin Johnson, I'm not sure if he's in the slot. And you got Hollywood Brown there. Mike Evans, yardage-wise. Brian Thomas Jr., big, fast. I mean, he's just a freak. Puka, he's supposed to be there. Emeka Ibuka, good yards after catch. Another slot guy. So it looks like the slot is starting to translate over. It didn't really translate over so much in between quick sim and slow sim last year. You didn't see a lot of slot. You didn't see a lot of wide receivers doing very well. Touchdown wise, Xavier Worthy, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, and then you got a lot of threes here. Let's do rack. This is what I want to get to with the halfbacks. It's all halfbacks. You know, calling screens seem to be better. You got Travis Etienne, Ashton Genty, and plus not even just screens. They're getting one-on-ones with linebackers, and there's a couple plays I believe I've seen where there's just like left wide open. Jerome Ford, Josh Jacobs. So defense is playing back, and they're giving this up. But a lot of focus on the halfback here in the Jaguars offense. You got Etienne is doing great in rushing attempts and rack yards here. I don't know. I don't really think you need to look into anything beyond that. I think you see players like this just a product of their playbook opportunity. It's not so much the abilities. Although I saw Mr. Nakua make some great catches against traffic. No traits. Got recuperation, short out elite, and mid and elite. I would pay attention to those two, especially when you got Brian Thomas Jr. and Puka with short out elite. What does ETN have? Take a look at him. See if he's got anything on. Traits wise, nothing. Just ETN being ETN. How about we go to talk about sacks, the most given up? Darnell Wright and Jermaine Elmanor. Why have they given up the most sacks? 79 overall. See if there's anything that pops up. Could just be their quarterbacks running into sacks. No traits on them. Playbook or the quarterback or a combination of both. Like I said, also sacks are way too high. So you got Wright and you got Jackson here. I think we have to go take a look at the quarterback. And I mean, that's just ridiculous. Let's go take a look at Caleb Williams. Maybe there's something here you want to stay away from. Let's go to quarterbacks. Actually, yeah. Caleb Williams, no passing touchdowns. I think he also left games. So he's got quick clock, throw away, eyes up, and steering clear. He's got gambit, pocket deadeye, and quick draw. Maybe something in here is forcing him to hold the ball. I got no idea. But that's interesting. All right, let's look at defense. Take it with a grain of salt. Sacks are too high. You got Cody Barton leading in tackles, JOK, Nate Wiggins, Demario Davis, Bobby Okereke, Jermaine Pratt, Jordan Brooks. I mean, what's really that? Tackles for loss. Like I said, Trayvon Walker, he's disgusting. Alex Highsmith, Will Anderson, JTT, Wyatt, Trey Hendrickson, and then sack-wise, these are too high. Trayvon Walker, Micah Parsons, Alex Highsmith, Trey Hendrickson. Let's look at why Trayvon Walker is so good. He's up to an 86 overall now, but he's big and fast. He's a freak. He's an absolute freak, and that's paying off. Micah Parsons, of course. Alex Highsmith. Why is he standing out? BOGO, max effort, and reach elite. I don't know. I think this is more playbook based than anything. Trey Hendrickson's always good. What's Wyatt? He's only a 79 overall. No traits. And then interceptions are down. Nothing really stands out here to me. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know what you learned, where you're going to go, any questions, anything you need straightened out. Just ask in the comments. I'm definitely interested in the Cards, especially their defense. Packers, both sides of the ball look great. Bills, looking at Josh Allen as far as abilities, traits, and that offense. Eagles are great. Texans and Chargers, let's look at their offenses deeper. Let's look at their players. Lions and 49ers, let's look at their playbooks in slow sim and see if maybe those combination of playbooks can do very well. Good to see the Packers translate. Get a mobile quarterback. Cheat code for sure. What else we got here? Bengals, not throwing the ball so much. Patrick Mahomes turning the ball over too much. See what kind of players we need to stay away from. Why are Michael Penix Jr. and Caleb Williams getting sacked so much? Probably on them. Probably on the playbook. Let's see if we can find better sliders going forward. Maybe that'll clean up the sacks. Like I said, I really love the gameplay. Just need to clean up the sacks a little bit. See more rushing attempts. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I just want to hear from you guys, and hopefully this helps. And it can only help make things better. I want you to let me know if you've taken anything away from this video and applied it to your slow sim leagues, and if it's helped. So there you go. Be on the lookout. I got the top 3 maybe offenses that throw to the tight end and the best schemes for them coming out very soon, and a bunch of other videos. And I'm going to look into some defenses I may have missed, like the Cards for 3-4, and Jags might be the best 4-3 quick sim defenses. All right, well, that's all I got. I will see you very soon. Thank you for watching, subscribing. If you can, hit that boost thing in the comments down there to boost this video. I think you're only allowed to boost 3 creators a week or something like that. I don't know. It's very new. But anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you very soon. Peace.